Hello friends and potential friends. Well, if you saw my tour from a couple weeks ago, you know that this ginger and turmeric was all standing up proud and looking good. 2 weeks later, it's about done for. Still a bit of green in there. A lot of it's dying back. So I'm going to see about getting the critters out of the way. And then I'm going to take this thing apart and see what we got. Seems like I just did this a year ago. Let me find some place for you to sit and we'll get into it. Okay, looks like this top tower is the large ginger. I'm going to go ahead and get these stalks out of the way. Make it a little bit easier to deal with. And then we'll go treasure hunting a little bit. See what we got. Now let's go dump this over and start treasure hunting. Looks like it was starting to get a little bit root bound. Oh, let's see, this is one of the smaller ones. And that is pretty tiny. I need some place to put this stuff. That'll work. Can you see that over there? Nah, not really. Turn you around over here a little bit so you can watch the progress. Not bad for a start. Pretty good for the first tier. Let me get out the hose and get this stuff cleaned up a little bit. I'll show you what we got on the first level. Okay, got level 1 cleaned up. That's not a bad haul. There's one of the roots that I planted. And this one here, that little guy is a root that I planted. There's another one. Another little one there. Another little one there. And the rest of this is all just extra. And that's the top level. Now, if I haven't mentioned, or if you haven't been following along for what seems like forever, I grow 2 different types of ginger. I can't tell you what they are because both of them started out at the grocery store. My original one tends to grow kind of short plants, and a few years ago my friend Buddy up the street gave me some ginger from his garden, which apparently came from a different grocery store. And his is the ones that grow these huge stalks. They also grow huge storage roots. That right there could very well be enough to keep me going for a few months. And that's just the first tier. Let me do something with this dirt, and then we'll get into tier 2. Okay, tier 2 looks like turmeric. So I'm going to dig into this and put you on fast motion. Well, turmeric is not usually as prolific as ginger, but I did get some nice rhizomes out of this. That's a pretty nice one right there. There's some more pretty nice ones. So once again, let me get this cleaned up and I'll show you the final result from tier 2. And here we have the first level of turmeric. That's a nice one. That's a nice one too. And if you think about it, that piece right there, pull that off, that's what I planted that produced this. There's a couple more of the seeds that I planted. There's one on there. So you plant a little tiny piece, and wait a year, and you get a bunch more in return. Now let's see what that next tier has in store. Okay, now on to tier 3. And this tier is more of Buddy's ginger, which is the large variety. So let's get into it. Okay, here's tier 3. Got some nice chunks of ginger there. Something I especially like seeing. This guy right here, that at the end is what I planted, and it gave me the rest of this. Quite a haul so far. Okay, tier 4 is some more turmeric. And incidentally, when I pulled this off of the tower, I noticed that the very bottom tier, where I had planted the smaller variety of ginger, is only about half populated. So let's start moving our expectations for that last tier down a little bit. But first we'll get into this tier. And there's the yield from the next tower tier. Can't complain. That's what I planted right there. The rest of it was free. Same thing here. Planted that, got that. But the yield is getting smaller the lower we go in the tower. So I don't have real high expectations for that last tier of ginger. Okay, there's the last tier. It is the small variety of ginger. And you can probably see pretty clearly that only 3 of those pockets have plants growing out of them. So this is probably going to be a pretty quick harvest. Like I said, it'd be a quick harvest. Basically, whoop, no getting away. That's what we got out of that. Not much at all. I did notice that soil in that bottom tier was rather moist and compacted. I'm not sure what that's telling me, but it was a difference. Well, there's the final tally. That's the large ginger, what I referred to as Buddy's ginger. 2 tiers of turmeric. And that's what I'm going to plant. And the beauty of my technique for growing ginger and turmeric is I'm going to plant that right now. You see, I've got an advantage here in Florida that a lot of people don't have. Our ground doesn't freeze. So I can put this stuff in the dirt right now and it'll lay dormant until things warm up in the spring, and then it'll pop its head up above the ground, and in about a year come on back and we'll do this again, putting all the smaller ginger in the top tier this time instead of the bottom. And I'm putting some turmeric in the second tier down. And then I'm going to put some of Buddy's ginger in the third tier down. Just one little piece in each pocket, that's all it takes. Some of these are a little bit bigger than I need. And I'll put some more turmeric in the fourth tier. And then more of Buddy's ginger in the bottom tier. Now we just press that into the soil, make sure it's covered up good. And there we are. Whoop, missed one. Now there we are. Now I just forget it. And next year about this time, we'll do another harvest. So come on back then. Actually, I hope you come back before then. That's it for today, and I'll see you on the next video.